Hey crafty friends, this is Jen from Katahdin Crafts, and welcome back to the Same Set Syndrome. This is a monthly hop focused on small businesses, and this month's sponsor is Not Too Shabby. Jamie, the owner, has generously offered a $25 gift certificate to a hop viewer. So please make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment below, and follow along to all the fabulous talent that we have on this hop. And so the premise behind this group is that we're all using the same set or two from the same small business, the business that sponsors us for that particular month. So this month I'm using Not Too Shabby Summertime Buddies, which is a super cute set. And I decided to make it a slimline card and to use a magnet to make it a slider card. So a magnetized slider card. It's my first attempt at one, but it won't be my last. It was super fun, and the magnet gives you a lot more possibilities because you don't have to build in any sort of channel into your card mechanism. So here we go. I am coloring up my images. First I stamped them with Copic friendly ink. I used Lawn Fawn's jet black ink for this onto Nina Classic White or Classic Solar White cardstock in 110 pound. I go back and forth between the 110 pound and the 80 pound, depending on what I'm going to do and how detailed my Copic marker coloring is going to be. And I thought that I would be using a lot of extra ink today for my water blending, as you'll see soon in the future. So that's why I decided to use the heavier cardstock. And you'll see all my marker caps are on the screen for you, so you can follow along and look at my color choices. And let me talk a little bit about the Not Too Shabby shop when I am coloring. I have discovered that she has some really nice digital images that she just put out, I believe, this summer. I did a collab with my friend Carrie Rhodes in the spring, and I used her cupcake digital image, and now she has a coffee cart and a lemonade stand, I do believe, out, and they are both super cute. I have them both, I just haven't had the chance yet to use them, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure that her and Carrie did a collab on the coffee cart. Sure, I link Not Too Shabby below, and also her YouTube channel, so you can go check out that video. As I was creating this card, I was dreaming of the ocean scene that I'm creating. What I would love to, or what I would give to be able to go to the ocean this summer and just float around or lay in the beach with my kids. I know that some beaches are open, but we are hanging tight and just doing some things around the house, and I'm creating a little bit more. We're all working together at our seasonal business, so we're doing things a little bit different this summer, but it definitely makes me long for the beach and the ocean, which I absolutely love. I don't know about all of you, but summer is certainly flying by. I cannot believe that it's almost August, the end of July. Holy cow. Where has it gone? As far as warm temperatures and summer here in northern Maine, we have a very short summer. We have a short growing period. We tend to get a lot of snow, and sometimes we still have a little bit of snow left in June. This year wasn't as bad, but there's been some years where I have our pellet stove on still in June. So, we really like those warm summer days because they're few and far in between for us up here. Alright, so moving on in the card, I used Lawn Fawn's new dies that are out for Slimline. This is their largest frame in the large Slimline with sliders set. And I cut it several times so I could make the stitches go along the edges seamlessly. And right now I'm using my go-to cloud maker, which is made from Lawn Fawn Stitch Clouds, and it's just a template that I created myself, and I use it quite often. My favorite color for the sky, which is Tumbled Glass Distress Oxide ink. And now I decided to do this card a little bit different than I normally do. I'm going to create my background with Copics, and so I'm starting with the beach sandy colors, and you can see that I put all of my caps on the screen on the side for you, so you can follow along in my color scheme if you would like. And I'm just doing some blending. First I'm starting with those darker colors, and then I'm pulling it down with the lighter colors, and I'm using a flicking motion to do so. And then I go back and forth just a little bit in order to get that blend down. And you can see I'm going now with the lighter and trying to pull out some of that color so I get a nice blend. I'm trying a few different techniques. I've talked about it before in the past that I'm always trying different things and trying to better myself, or, and I take some online classes. It's stuff that I enjoy doing and learning. I love to learn anything, actually. And now I'm doing a few sand dunes or mounds of sand, whatever you would like to call them. And just adding a little bit so it has a little bit of dimension, so in a place to put that sand castle. And now I'm just going to do a few dots around the sand to give it that texture. I did this in my sea turtle card recently, and I liked the look a lot. I'm going to use 2 different shades this time just to give it a little bit more definition. And now I'm going to try some water blending. Again, I just wanted to go outside my box and try something a little bit different than I normally do. This would have looked fine if I used cardstock and just did different colors and shades of blue. I didn't mention yet that the die cut that I'm using here is Stitched Simple Wavy Borders from, actually this is Stitched Wave Borders from Lawn Fawn. And I just die cut that frame, again, that large frame, and I just used segments of it and went up the frame and cut it in quarters. So that's how I got the different waves. So the technique I'm using here to do my water is just little flicks, as you can see, back and forth. And I'm just going with all those different shades of aqua and blue and going back and forth and just blending from dark to light. And then I'm doing that in each section, so there'll be it looks like the crest of the waves. And now I'm using a white gel pen and just going and putting those white caps on just for a little bit of more dimension. And between the sand definition and the water, I went with the gel pen and kind of just made little dots and dashes and try to make that look like the surf hitting the sand. And now I'm just going and putting on highlights on all of my die cuts. And I did use my Brother Scan and Cut to cut out all my images. And next I'm going to use the pull tab add-on from Let's Toast from the Lawn Fawn set. And that just, I place that at the top and you can see it keeps that stitch line and it just puts that little indent so then you can use a pull tab a little bit easier. And then they have that little pull tab die cut that goes with it as well. I cut 2 of them and eventually I'm going to cut 3, and I just clipped off those little edges that I didn't really need. And I did 3 because I think that the stability of that, especially because I'm using a magnet, is a lot better. And then it comes with a little pull tab die that you can make it so that people will know to pull that. And I don't know what it would call a pull tab die. I'm not really sure if that's the technical term for that, but it's scored in the center and it just folds over on top of the pull tab. And I think I just managed to say pull tab like a lot in that just a couple minutes. All right, now I'm just going to adhere these 3 pieces together. Again, it's just for strength and stability because of adding magnets to this card. I needed something that was going to be pretty stiff and sturdy. So I'm putting that together. And then I'm going to fold down that little tab. I'm not going to say pull tab again. I'm going to put that tab on, and that just gives it another little decorative flair to the card. Okay, see, and super simple, and it fits on there perfectly. And I'm just going to glue the bottom and the top and just adhere it on. I love all of Lawn Fawn's interaction, the dies that they have, interactive dies that they have. They have so many now. I mean, they're so clever. And Not Too Shabby does carry Lawn Fawn products. She has some original content in her shop, and she also has other brands. So make sure that you do check that out. So now I'm just going to start adhering my card and getting it ready to do the slider part. I'm just going to slip all of these waves behind each other. Now I'm just going to make sure that the placement is right. Let's see, just to have it go all the way up. And I'm really liking this precision glue that I have. I do use a lot of Lawn Fawn glue as well, but that is out right now and I have to purchase some more. So, but I'm liking this new precision glue that I picked up, and let me see. This is it. It's actually art glitter, designer adhesive, and I love it. And I just had a little white spot there that I just went back on with my marker and just got that because it didn't quite tuck down as far as I guess that I thought that it would, so I just had to fill that in a little bit. And then I just wanted to make sure that all those waves were going to be really super tight onto the paper because of the magnet going sliding up and down. I was afraid that they were going to catch, so I used a lot of adhesive and made sure that I had all those points down. And I just had a little excess paper or something on the side, so I just snipped that off. And now to get out the magnets. I got these on Amazon. They weren't that expensive. I think maybe $15 for all of those. And they're really sturdy and strong. You could see that I kind of struggled to get them apart. And so you just have to make sure that you put the positive and the negative so that they're going to be together so that they'll attract each other. So I just put one down and then I double checked myself and put that on the top and then put the sticker. And then I adhered my little kitty. Oh, before that though, I had put a little bit of black gel pen onto the eyes, and now I'm just adding a little white gel pen to add that shine back in. And now I'm gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna start working on the back of my card. I'm going to put 2 layers of foam tape on it, and I'm going to put a lot of foam tape for stability. So you can see I start here, and I got it as close to the slider as I possibly could without interfering with it. So that just gives it that little bit of channel. That's what I call it. I call it channels, and that just kind of makes sense to me. So then I peel off the top of all of those, and then I put on another layer. And here I'm just cutting it. You can cut that foam tape into any size that you need. So I'm just adding that smaller piece right there to the edge, and that gives it a lot of definition and or dimension in order to be able to move the magnet. And now I'm just taking a powder tool and I'm going around the edges of the foam tape so the piece of paper, the piece of cardstock doesn't stick to that when it's being pulled back and forth. And now I just added the kitty, and this is my experiment. When I was pulling it up with the one magnet, she was kind of twisting and turning, which would have been okay probably if that was a smooth piece of cardstock and I didn't have the little waves to worry about catching on. It could have been kind of a neat thing for the current, but I wanted to make her a little bit more stable, so I added a second magnet there to hold her up. And now I'm just going to pop dot a lot of the other pieces up, well, the little dog and the sandcastle, just to give that dimension. And there's a lot of dimension on this card. And I'm going to do the same to the sun. And now it's almost time for the fun part, to see how it all works together. So I'm going to go ahead and add the back of that on and then adhere the kitty. And she slides up and down nicely. So that worked. You do have to pull a little bit harder than you would for a regular slider card, just because of the pull and the weight of the magnets. But especially with these, and I haven't tried any others before, so I'm not sure if I have like super heavy duty ones compared to some that you can get. But I'm pretty pleased with it. It's not that hard to pull, and it definitely is sturdy. So now I'm just putting on the sentiment that's in the set that says "floating by to say hi." So how perfect is that? And as you can see, I tested it on the paper. I always do that to make sure that I'm going to get a good impression, and I always freak out when I actually have to hand stamp something. So yeah, my heart was racing, but I got her on there, and I used Mermaid Lagoon Distress Oxide ink for that sentiment. And yay, my kitty is sliding and floating perfectly. And now I'm using my Wink of Stella pen to go ahead and add some shimmer and shine to my card. I do this sun, and I'm doing the floats, and just pretty much anything that adds a little shine. I do the flag and the starfish as well. Always love shimmer and shine. And I can't get enough of pulling this back and forth, back and forth. It's so much fun. I was so excited. I've wanted to do a magnet sliding card for a while. So yay, I got to get one done. And so thank you so much for stopping in, and thanks again to Not Too Shabby. We really appreciate your sponsorship, and definitely I'm encouraging everybody to go check out her shop. She has lots for everybody's needs. And please like, comment, and subscribe below and hop along. There's a lot of inspiration to be found throughout this hop. And I will see you soon. Thank you and happy crafting.